The second most common block is trusting what you see. The trust factor. That's something I hear again and again and again. And really, at the end of the day, and this might be difficult to hear for some people, but the truth is, if you're not trusting the message, that means you don't trust in your connection with your higher self. And you don't trust or have full faith and belief in your connection with whatever the higher power is or the consciousness is that you are connected to when you're doing your work. So it's not about training yourself to figure, or giving yourself a tool or a method to trust more. It's really about going within and asking yourself the really important questions. What is my relationship with my own higher self? What is my relationship with my own higher power? How much faith do I have in it? And how am I going to allow it to guide me in a way where I can be literally feel safe to know that I am capable of connecting and trusting? So that's really an internal personal relationship that you have to work on between yourself, your own higher self, and between yourself, your higher power, and the consciousness that you connect with and the frequencies that you connect with when you're doing the reading. The third is the most important and the most difficult, which is the art of discernment. And this is very, very tricky. Okay, this is a really tricky one. And this is one that takes practice and it takes time. So it's not something that's going to come overnight, but learning to discern what you see. And it's very, very important that you acknowledge your state of being prior to a reading. Because if you are in a state of fear, if something's going on in your own personal life, and maybe you just, had an experience an hour before a reading that kind of left you in a space of fear or discontent, you might want to again check in with yourself and either reschedule the reading, or you want to actually go inside and reset yourself, because all of that energy that's in you becomes a part of your experience as the reader. And when it becomes a part of your experience as the reader, it is going to infiltrate your discernment skills, and it's going to create a filter of your within your discernment skills. So you just really, the first step in discernment is really, where am I in this moment with this person, and am I a clear channel? Am I in that clear space? Am I grounded? Am I feeling safe? Am I feeling rooted? It's really, really important to do that, because when you don't, sometimes, the energy can be a little off, because you're making the energy off, because you're affecting the frequency just with your own thoughts and feelings. We see this really often in tarot card reading. So for instance, I'll have clients that I've trained in tarot that'll say, oh my God, I gave myself a tarot reading and all these horrible cards came out. And then I freaked out. So I shuffled again, and then I shuffled again, and then I shuffled again. And each time they shuffled, apparently the cards got worse and worse. And the truth is, they're doing that. They're creating that with their own anxiety, with their own energy. So I'll tell them, do yourself a favor, put down the cards, put them away, take a deep breath, step away, come back another day when you're feeling a little bit more centered, because your frequency, your energy, your thoughts, your emotions are affecting the energy at all times. So again, tarot is a really great example of this, because it happens really often in tarot. Okay. We don't really necessarily see it that often, or are able to pinpoint it as much, when we're doing what we call raw energy reading, when we're not using a tool like tarot, when we're just kind of stepping into somebody's vibrational self. But that's only because we don't have a tool in front of us that's kind of showing us, when you flip a tarot card, you know which ones are good and you know which ones aren't good, right? So you're kind of have an easier way of seeing, if you're infiltrating the energy in your own way. But when you're doing raw energy reading, you don't really have that. So you don't have that base. So it's kind of hard to go. And then you start getting confused. You start going, oh my God, is this real? Is this my feeling? What is this? Why am I so scared? What's happening? And then before you know it, you start going into this spiral effect. So these are just things you really have to be aware of when it comes to discernment.